So my name is Rachel McCormick, and I am with McLeod Farms here in McBee, South Carolina. I am charge of marketing here. I am fifth generation peach farmer, so my father still very much is the owner and operator here at McLeod Farms, Kent McLeod, and then my brother as well, fifth generation, is here as the operations manager. Right, so many people may have heard that there's not a lot of peaches in the southeast this year. There was a very late frost in April that did some damage to the orchards. So you may have ridden by some peach trees before in the southeast during the spring, and it looks like a sea of pink, right? It's a very critical time for the blossoms because if the temperature gets under 32 degrees, there could be some damage. And then that blossom will not essentially turn into a peach. One of those late storms did hit various peach farms across the southeast, specifically in Georgia, were hit with that. And so their volume, as they are reporting, is not as big as what it usually is, which has kind of opened the door for us and for people to realize that peaches do come from the state of South Carolina, and specifically here in the PD area this year, we are having such a beautiful, wonderful crop. A lot of people ask, well, what did you do different? How is it different here? So over the years, obviously, if I'm fifth generation, this farm's been in our family for over 100 years, and we've accumulated wind machines. We have about 52 wind machines spread out all across the orchard. Basically, what happens is when they call for under 32 degrees and our trees are in full bloom, we'll stay up all night long and we will run these wind machines. So it's like a big propeller in the sky. It moves the warm air down and kind of creates a blanket effect in the orchard, kind of like a vacuum type situation. We're trying to pull the cool air up off the ground and the warm air down, and then we can raise the temperature up a little bit in the orchards with those 52 wind machines. If they're calling for very much under 32, which did happen this spring, what we'll do is we'll line the peach orchards with round hay bales, and we'll actually light those on fire and have a really big, it looks like smoke all around McBee, South Carolina. We even had a few people complain this spring, and we're like, listen, it'll dissipate soon. We promise it's clean smoke as far as it being the straw burning, but that really enabled us to save our crop. So we created some warmth. It's a big risk to do that. Obviously, it's an investment that you're not sure if it's going to pan out or work out. Also, our employees get very tired during that time because they work during the day, then typically they come in at midnight, and then they stay up till around 7, 8 o'clock when the temperature is going to get above freezing. So, you know, we never know if it's going to work out, but with a little bit of hard work, some luck, and of course, you know, the good Lord, we've been blessed with a great crop this season. Right, so I think with it being a family farm, we try to take it the extra step. We're not a big corporate business who could maybe take the hit because we do rely on this as our, you know, way of life. I mean, this is how we make a living. And so if we didn't try to go maybe the extra step and do all these extra things, it could be detrimental to our family farm. So I think because it is still so close knit to us, and we take pride in, no matter what, doing what we can to have a peach crop, whether it's for our small community or for the southeast like it's been this year, we're going to try our hardest to make sure that we have some peaches during the summertime. You know, we always say too, we strive for people to buy from local farms, whether that's in Georgia or South Carolina or Texas. You know, we really want to bring people awareness of getting their food close to where they live, right? And I think that's so important. But being from South Carolina, of course, we are going to say that we are the peach state. So we grow just as many, if not more, peaches in a normal season even than Georgia. So here at McLeod Farms, we're going to have a bumper crop. Again, we say that with a little reservation because we have a lot of farming friends who maybe aren't going to fare as well. And those people are like family to us. Our employees here, other farmers in the area, you know, and we want to help them out and be compassionate of their situation as well, because if it's not them this year, if it's them this year, it could be us in the future. You know, you just never know what the weather is going to do. But yes, here in McBee, South Carolina at McLeod Farms, we have a lot of peaches. I think, you know, this week's, especially this week and last week, we're looking at like 12,000 pounds per week. So it's been a big crop so far. They call for that cold weather. You know, you always look at the bloom and see if you can see any damage. Sometimes that bloom doesn't show damage at the very beginning, so you wait it out. There's also this reservation with waiting it out as well, because typically after the peaches make a small bud or a small peach, we go in and we do what's called thinning, right? So we knock about 40% of the peaches off the tree if we think we're going to have a great year, right? That way the peaches that are left on the tree get nice and big. They have enough room to get big, and they're also getting juicy, right? They're getting this constant supply of water, where if there's too many peaches on the tree, maybe they don't have room to grow, or they're not getting quite as much nutrients as they need to get larger. Well, whenever we had all these nubs, we were a little apprehensive about taking 40% off, because they could stop growing at that point if they did have some damage from that cold in April. So I think our large crop is due to, of course, my father, Kent McLeod, and Spencer McLeod knowing exactly what to do. We also kind of held back a little bit in that thinning process, just to make sure that the peaches that were on the tree would have the potential to get big. So I think that's another reason why maybe we're yielding a little bit more than what we typically do.